アガサ・クリスティの著書は100以上読めなかった。午前9時。
The train is still stuck and the snow continues to fall. I should have taken an airplane. Well, I must make the best of it and join the other passengers for breakfast.
食堂車に行く。
The train still hasn't left.
足跡とかはなさそうですね。
Wax to preserve the perfect symmetry of the mustache.
こんなワックスがあるんだ。
The mustache comb to tame
口
unruly
ひげ
nuts.
用の櫛。これは
Finest of curling iron
Hair
for
iron.
mustache.
そんなものがね。忘れ物がないかな。食堂車ね。こっちは逆ですが、一応見ときますか。しかもこっちから走ってきてたよな、そもそも。ここはアイウェアだったから。
The train is completely trapped because of the avalanche. Hopefully not for too long.
動かなさそうですね。見れないんだ。何かがあるわけでもなく。
Good morning, Monsieur Michel.
Good morning, sir. Please enjoy our special breakfast in our restaurant.
はい。朝食いただいていきましょう。
This delay is intolerable. I am supposed to be demonstrating the Firenze in Paris in 2 days.
Ah, your electric car. Yes, that's bad luck.
Bad luck? If I miss that demonstration, I'll be in a deep trouble.
Just text your people in Paris and warn them.
Of course I tried that. But there is no network service in these mountains.
My daughter said it would be the easiest way in the world. Just sit on the train until I got to Paris. And now we may be here for days, and my boat sails the day after tomorrow. How am I going to catch it now? I can't even send an email to cancel it. I'm just too mad to talk about it.
My colleagues were to meet me in Paris. They will wonder what has happened to me. I can get no words to them. What will they think? We have refugees to help.
Good morning, madam. The snow is a predicament, is it not?
I am Russian.
ロシア
Snow is no stranger to me.
Ah, the accent. Would it be St. Petersburg?
You are very perceptive. Monsieur Poirot, is it not?
And may I take it, I have the honor of addressing Princess Natalia Dragomirov.
We dispense with the old titles these days. My husband, all of my past, was taken from me by these Stalinists. When they were gone, I became director of the St. Petersburg Museum of Antiquities to restore and preserve what I can of my country's history.
Still, the delay must be vexing.
If I must be late for my appointments, then they will wait.
I know that I would certainly wait, madame. It has been my extreme pleasure to make your acquaintance, madame.
Au revoir, Monsieur Poirot.
A beautiful piano. What a luxury. Pity there's no one to play it.
オアラさんは弾かないのかい？あら、
Mademoiselle, you are not concerned about the train stopping?
What can one do?
Indeed, this does not make the train move. You have great strength to remain calm at a time like this.
I know one far, far stronger than I.
And that is?
Well, that old lady, for instance. You have probably noticed her. She just has to lift her little finger and ask for something in a polite voice, and the whole train runs.
It runs also for my friend Monsieur Bouc, but that is because he is a director of the line, not because he has a masterful character.
You don't have to have a strong will when you have power. But I suspect I did not need to tell you that, Mr.
Poirot.
Mr. Poirot.
Good morning, Mr. Fauchet. You have early customers, I see.
Yes, I am stuck serving here as well at breakfast. Everyone is impatient. They keep complaining that the train is not moving. As if I could get out and push it.
It's too early for me to order a boxcar. That is the appropriate drink, I believe.
A gin triple sec, lemon and grenadine mix. A drink for a train indeed.
But not perhaps for my breakfast. I think I will settle for an omelette.
Good luck, sir. Miss Nielsen is helping to serve in the dining car.
確かにボックスカーってカクテルはあるね。ここに隠れたりしないよね。なんかある。
The Orient Express bar is certainly well stocked.
How long are we expected to be stranded here?
It won't do much good complaining to me. That fellow there with the moustache, he may know something.
Excusez-moi, sir.
Yes?
Monsieur Bouc asks for you to join him in compartment 203.
せっかくの朝食が
Look here, Poirot. Can you tell us anything?
I can tell you the snow, it will not move aside on its own.
Of course. But you obviously have some influence with Book.
I am going to see him now. I will ask him if he has any information.
お食事食えなかった。あ、やってるやってる。片手で切ってる。コーンスープ、あったー。
Come to Poirot, my exquisitely sculpted friend.
.すごいとこに止まってんな。 かし本当に豪華な列車だよな。三村さん、外に出てんじゃん。
Ah, my good friend. Come in. We have need of you.
What has occurred?
A passenger lies dead in his bed. Stabbed.
A passenger? Which passenger?
In there. He's an American.
Ratchet.
A man called Ratchet. It was his valet, Masterman, who was worried that Mr. Ratchet was not awake yet. Pierre Michel, the conductor, decided to break in and found the body.
I see. Well, my friend, I think it is best not to touch anything and wait for the police to arrive.
Oh, I tried to call the police, but there is no cell tower for many kilometers. We could be stuck in the snow for hours. The murderer is with us. On the train, now! The sooner we catch him, the sooner we'll be out of danger. The Dr. Constantine is already examining the body.
Mon ami, this is not a missing train ticket. We must follow procedure. We must wait for the police to secure the crime scene.
Please, Poirot. I will take full responsibility.
Book, you ask. Well, if we cannot contact the outside world, then... Oh, you are going to drive me crazy. In truth, this problem intrigues me. I was reflecting not half an hour ago that many hours of boredom lay ahead whilst we are stuck here. And now, a problem lies ready to my hand.
You accept then?
C'est entendu. You place the matter in my hands.
キャラクターメニュー更新。まずこっちか。何が起こったか把握するために犯罪現場を分析する必要がある。17分の0で、サミュエル・ラチェット、この人が亡くなってると。でまだわからない人、この方もわからない。この2人も謎。名前は分かった。ピエール・ミシェフレイヤ、この人も分からん。ホタル・モリ、この人と会ってた。見てみましょう。あ、この人が出てきた。
Mr. Poirot, I am Dr. Constantine.
Forgive me, Doctor. You are a medical examiner?
No, but I have assisted in post-mortems at Nairobi Hospital, where I am a teaching fellow.
I am familiar with your excellent institution.
I do not intend to perform a full autopsy, but a preliminary examination should be of some use.
Of course. May I have a look? Then we can compare notes.
Please, if you need any help, I won't be far away.
ケニアの47歳医師でいいのかな。
Et voilà.
寒さ。
I assume the open window complicates matters.
Indeed, conditions are not perfect.
被害者。
What can you tell me about the victim?
He died from multiple stab wounds of varying angles and depth. More than one would have been fatal. I would place the time of death roughly between midnight and 2 a.m. With more time, I hope I can be more precise.
部屋にあった手がかり。
Did you touch anything in here this morning?
I checked for a pulse. There was none. Rigor mortis had commenced. The body was cool to the touch. I touched nothing else.
被害者とのつながり。
Did you know the victim?
Not at all. I noticed him last night at dinner, but I did not pay much attention.
殺人があったようだ。
I'm sorry, Doctor, but I must question you.
Of course. I must be considered under suspicion like everyone
そう
else.
ですね。
May I know your movements last night?
I share compartment 101 with Mr. Booth. He would not stop talking about his beloved train. I listened to him for hours talking about his Orient Express.
My friend Book will no doubt confirm this. Thank you for your help, Doctor.
さて、壊されている。
Where can the killer have gone? The chain lock is broken. Monsieur Michel told me that he broke the chain on the door to get into the room. I shouldn't leave until I have finished inspecting the crime scene. A box of sleeping pills. I'll take photos.
これは分からない。アリスは1000本の花が咲く森を歩いていました。彼女はブーケを作るために花を10本摘みました。突然ブーケが蝶に変身し、地面の花が増殖し始めました。花の本数は2倍になりました。990が1960で、アリスは扉の前に到着しましたが、扉にはこうありました。森から出たいなら森に残っている花の数を指すに教えなさい。
Not exactly the reading material one would expect of a man like Ratchet. Not exactly the reading...
ちょっと待って、占いよね。うさぎ、かわいい。
Expensive clothing, recently laundered.
OK。っていうことは、19601990じゃあ1980
Not very surprising.
ダイアリー。
Ratchet had an appointment he will never keep. I'll take photos.
うさぎちゃん。
A meeting place on the back of a postcard. Someone with the initials AW.
For each person hunt, you will serve in some fun. Your decision.
Unusual letters.
狙われてたってことか。やっぱりこれがあったから相談しに来てた。
This door communicates with compartment 204. The latch is open on this side.
204ってあの人の部屋だよね。あの女性だもんな。何これ。
I wonder what could be in this photo.
写真を修復しよう。まずはこれかな。回転。これはここが合ってるか。こうなってってことはこれがこうか。 れが胴体のここと。来た来た。猫ちゃん、デイジーのために。
For Daisy. Interesting.
娘？
I'm right again. That happens to me.
動物のぬいぐるみの写真。ラチェットのゴミ箱には破られたぬいぐるみの写真があった。それらのピースを組み合わせていくと、写真の裏にメッセージが隠されていることを発見した。デイジーのため。デイジー、娘さんだと思うんだけど。時計が取られてない。睡眠薬。
I'm sure I will find some interesting things inside.
スマホが壊れ
This
ている。
phone was deliberately smashed.
銃。
Last night, Monsieur Ratchet said he takes precautions. I see now what he meant. He knew he was in danger and wanted to be ready. Yet it was no use to him. I will leave it here for the police.
?1時15
The
分。
watch is broken. The hands are stopped at 1:15 a.m. One would expect that to be the time when the attack occurred.
As you see, the victim has been stabbed many times. Several alone would have been fatal.
Yes, I agree. An attack most savage.
完全に寝てるところ
I
に
will,
あ
of
るけ
course,
どな。
prepare a complete report on my findings.
Thank you.
違う違う違う違う。まだあるな。なんだバナナ。
Did it belong to Ratchet? The snow is falling only lightly this morning. The murderer would have left tracks in the snow if he had jumped out the window.
足跡はない。犯人はどうやって部屋から出たんだろうか。犯人がラチェットの部屋から出た方法として最も可能性の高い方法が湧く要素2つ。連結ドアにはかかっていない鉄ドアがある。 チェーンが壊れていると開けた。列車は止まり、窓は開いている。結論付
So,
け。
the murderer must have exited through Madame Hubbard's room. That's the right answer.
連結度。ってことはですよ。と、可能性としては、
I must admit I'm not right
Sure.
this time.
まあこの時はこうなるのか。助走している可能性も全然あるからね。ハバード夫人を上場する。ミシェル氏を上場する。OK。はい。では行きましょうか。事情聴取。
I shouldn't leave until I...
完了？まだあるのか。あ、こんなとこに。これを
A handkerchief. There's a letter H embroidered on it.
ってことは出来事を振り返る。事件のように起こった出来事の解明に役立つ要素を2つ選択する。まずはこれと
I do not think that's the right answer.
脅迫状10。ラチェットは警戒心を持っていた。で、これと睡眠薬。
This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth.
と警戒心を持っていたけど飲んでいた。
I do not...
違うな。
This is wrong.
そういうことか。まあそういうことか。警戒はしてたけど睡眠薬飲んじゃ
I
った
can't
から、
imagine Ratchet taking a sleeping pill if he feared for his life.
飲まされて
That's
る
the
ね。
right answer.
ラチェットの召使い。下で働いてたのはこことここ。
My little gray cells did not...
ラチェットの秘書召使い。
I think I've seen everything I need at the moment. I'm counting on you to finish your analysis.
I'll have a more detailed report for you as soon as I can.
お願いします。では、事情聴取。
So, Poirot, did you find anything out?
It's a bit early for the handcuffs, my friend. Even for Hercule Poirot. Do not worry, mon ami. I believe our culprit has no plans to strike again. Monsieur Ratchet was the target. Of that I am convinced.
乗客名簿。
I need a list of the passengers with their compartment numbers.
Pierre Michel will have it.
操作。
Here is what I have found out. Monsieur Ratchet was stabbed many times. I also found threatening letters in his safe. He had a loaded gun under his pillow, so he was on guard, ready to defend himself. However, there was an empty glass with white residue at the bottom. I suspect a barbiturate. Perhaps he was forced to take it. In any case, I am certain he was unconscious, unable to defend himself. I also found several other items at the crime scene, possibly related to the murder. They must be investigated.
By all means, Poirot. As fast as you can.
I also found liquid for an electronic cigarette, but I could not find a vape. This might belong to the murderer.
タバコ。
This criminal is an amateur.
さあどうだろ
Tell me, Book, how did you spend last night?
This is a joke, I hope. Don't you trust your old friend?
My friend, calm yourself.
Hey,
I
no,
must
calm
hear
down.
your story in order to corroborate other accounts.
Ah, naturally. Let me see. I went to my compartment after dinner. Dr. Constantine was already there. We talked about his career. He's a Cambridge man, you know. After university, he returned to his country and has done much good there. He was so interested in the Orient Express. I told him all the anecdotes I know. I'm not certain when we fell asleep, but it was very late.
I must interview the rest of the passengers and the staff.
I'll be in the bar car if you need me. We are hours late. Soon I hope help will arrive.
Monsieur Edward Masterman, I believe. May I ask you some questions?
I can barely talk. I have a terrible toothache.
We have a doctor on board the train. Perhaps...
I do not need a doctor. I use essential oils. If you can find my flask of clove oil in my box, I would be grateful.
Fine, if you insist. I will help you. By the smell, I think that the jojoba oil spilled on the other bottles, leaving their labels illegible. I must find another way to find which one is Masterman's toothache remedy. The weighing scale is soaked in jojoba oil. It's unusable. Ah, this old scale will do the
グラムを
job.
測れ。
To start, I must first arrange the vials from the lightest to the heaviest.
これの方が重い。これの方が重い。これの方がそう、こうして、こうして、それが重い。これが軽い。軽い。で、だと、こっちの方が重い。これこうなる。これの方が重い。こうなって、で、赤の方が重い。この方が重い。
Now that I know the order, I think that I can easily guess which one is the clove oil.
クローブオイル。いいのかな。
Here is Monsieur Masterman's remedy. Here is your remedy. I hope it will help.
Thank you very much, sir. Ah, well. I can finally speak without too much pain. I'm ready to answer your questions.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's valet?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Were you told that your employer was murdered?
Yes, sir. A very shocking occurrence.
アメリカ人召使い。
Et voilà.
犯行の夜
At
ですが
what hour did you last see Monsieur Ratchet?
It must have been around 9 p.m., sir. That or a little after. I went to bed around 10:30 p.m., same as the person who shares my room. Mr. Foscarelli. He almost immediately began snoring.
What did you do then?
I read, sir, and I spent a while soothing my toothache with clove oil and listening to the snoring.
Did you hear anything during the night?
Yes, my roommate's snoring.
いびきばっかな話。喫煙者
Are you a smoker?
Yes, sir. I have a cigarette now and then to relax.
Are you a smoker?
Yes, sir. I have a cigarette now and then to relax.
ラチェ
Tell
ットさん
me about your employer, Monsieur Ratchet.
I've been working for him for 9 months.
9ヶ月
I should not wish to speak ill of the dead, but he was not a gentleman, sir.
Did you know that he had enemies?
Yes, sir. I heard him discussing some threatening letters, sir, with Mr. McQueen.
Did he mention these letters to you?
He had been reading a letter when I came in. He asked me if I was the one who put it in his compartment. I told him that I had done no such thing, and he should report it to the police at the next station.
How did he respond?
He laughed, sir.
You're joking.
I do not joke, sir.
笑ってた。
Forgive me. I can see you do not. Was he taking sleeping pills?
Always when traveling by train, sir. He said he couldn't sleep otherwise. Last night he asked me to give him 2. I did so along with a glass of water. He dissolved them in the water.
Did you see him drink the water?
No, sir. I left right after I gave him the pills.
なるほど。笑ってましたって言ってんで、まあ心配そうにしてたよな、でも。ラチェットは喫煙者。
Was Monsieur Ratchet a smoker?
No. He finds smokers disgusting.
Can you tell me again why you gave sleeping pills to Monsieur Ratchet?
Yes, I gave him the pills because when he takes the train, he has trouble sleeping. The letter must have worried him. He specifically asked me to prepare the sleeping pills. I didn't see him drink the water with the pills in it.
列車では辛くすみません。凶悪症の件もありましたし、睡眠中の原因に頼まれましたよ。まずたところで2条を
What evidence can help me prove he's lying?
2条があれだよな。ここなんだよ
Monsieur,
な。
I believe you are not telling me the truth.
What? How can you say that?
誰が嘘をついてる。10
He received threatening letters. One, it seems, last night. Did you know he had a gun under his pillow? And even asked for my help to watch over him? I find it strange that he asked you for sleeping pills when he was afraid for his life and prepared to defend himself.
I'm sure I don't know. Maybe to calm his nerves, maybe out of habit.
It makes no sense.
Wait, please. Isn't it possible that Mr. Ratchet asked me to prepare the pills but didn't plan to drink them for some reason.
It is possible. But I am a student of character, monsieur, and the Monsieur Ratchet you describe is not the man I met.
If you'll excuse me, my toothache is getting worse again.
I'm afraid this time you must prepare your own clove oil.
どうぞ塗ってください。怪しいな、やっぱ。どうも。
I believe I am addressing Monsieur Hector McQueen.
Guilty as charged.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, sorry. Just an expression. My father used to say it.
You must have had an interesting childhood. I am Hercule Poirot.
No need to be modest. You're a detective.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's secretary?
I am Mr. Ratchet's secretary. Just over a year. I mainly take care of translating certain texts for him. Mr. Ratchet only speaks English.
Prepare yourself for a shock. Your employer, Monsieur Ratchet, is dead.
So they got him after all.
What do you mean? You are assuming he was murdered?
I know he had enemies.
ラチェットさんについて。
What can you tell me about Monsieur Ratchet?
He was American. He was an
デ
antique
ィー
dealer.
ラーか。
I don't know much more. Mr. Ratchet never talked about himself or his life. But I think Ratchet wasn't his real name. And he left the United States to run away from something. Or someone.
Yes?
He started getting letters. Threatening letters.
Do you still have them?
I have one.
Did you know that Monsieur Ratchet had asked for my help?
Asked you? No, I didn't know.
He knew he was in danger. When did you last see him?
Last night around 10 o'clock, I should say.
Did you like your employer, Monsieur McQueen?
No, I did not. He was, I'm sure, a cruel and dangerous man.
犯行の夜。
Can you tell me your movements last night?
I went back to my compartment. I read a little. In Belgrade, I went out onto the platform to smoke, but it was cold. I quickly went back in. I then went to Mr. Ratchet's compartment to take some dictation for him. I left around 10 o'clock. I saw Captain Arbuthnot. We ended up chatting in my compartment. Then we went out on the platform to quickly stretch our legs at Minkowski. He left around 2 o'clock.
Thank you. I will need to check Monsieur McQueen's story with Captain Arbuthnot.
ラチェットの日記。
I found a diary in Monsieur Ratchet's safe. Did you know about it?
I kept a business appointment book, but I know he had a personal diary as well. That looks like it.
喫煙
Are
者。
you a smoker?
Yes, I smoke cigarettes. I've tried to quit, but no luck.
二人とも吸ってんのか。ね、紙タバコか。こっちを。
Can you give me this letter, please?
Of course, here it is.
死の時。ラチェットは喫煙者。
Was Monsieur Ratchet a smoker?
No, no, he hated the smell of smoke.
二人とも吸ってるってことだよね。なるほど。じゃあ前の号車か。検視中です。すいません。
Good morning, madam. I am Hercule Poirot.
Caroline Hubbard. What can I do for you, Mr. Poirot?
I am the bearer of unfortunate news.
It's obvious with all the commotion that something has happened.
Madame Hubbard, I am afraid your neighbor, Monsieur Ratchet, was murdered last night.
Oh my God. I knew
やっ
it.
ぱり
I knew it.
I would like to ask you some questions, but first, may I inspect your room?
Of course. course. Yes, you must.
Canada だっけ。管理者。
No, 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 not good.
主婦
I do not think that.
アメリカこうか。
Et voilà.
インドマップ。はい。ありがとうございます。
Another delightful trophy for my collection. Here is a jacket button. It bears the logo of the Orient Express.
このボタンはどうしたんだろう。
The luxury of the Orient Express is present in every detail.
Hmm? 何もない。そういうこと？
This door connects to Monsieur Ratchet's compartment. It was latched on this side.
片方からは鍵がかかってた。両方開けないといけないってことか。ちょっと話を。昨晩のことです。
Madame, please tell me about last night.
The murderer was right here in my compartment. I woke up. All in the dark it was. I was just so scared I couldn't scream. I pressed the call button. I pressed and pressed. I heard footsteps running in the corridor, then a knock on my door. Come in, I screamed. And I switched on the lights at the same time. And would you believe it? There wasn't a soul there.
You think he went back into the other compartment?
How do I know where he went? I had my eyes shut tight. The conductor came in. I told the man what had happened, and he didn't seem to believe me. I asked him to search the room, but he found nothing. I told the conductor to look at the door between the compartments, and sure enough, it wasn't bolted. Well,
本当外れて
I
いた。
soon saw to that. I told him to bolt it, then and there.
直したんだ。連
How
結だ。
is it you didn't bolt the door between the two compartments?
But I had. Well, as a matter of fact, I asked that Swedish lady, Olsen, Greta, if it was bolted, and she said it was.
How was it you could not see for yourself?
I was already in bed, and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was.
What time was it when you asked her to do this for you?
Oh, it must have been around 10:30 or 10:45 p.m. She'd come along to see if I had an aspirin. But instead of opening my door, she opened Mr. Ratchet's door by mistake. He said something quite rude, like, "Not a chance, lady, you're too old." It shocked her. She came in. I told her where to find the aspirin, and she got it out of my toiletry bag. Poor girl, she didn't have a good night.
The same could be said for Monsieur Ratchet. It appears Mademoiselle Olsen may be the last person to see Ratchet alive.
H と集がされたハンカチ。
Is this your handkerchief?
No, not at all.
Yet it is embroidered with an initial H, like your name.
I don't care. It's not mine, and I would certainly never buy something so impractical as that frilly thing.
ああ、違うんだ。
Are
出演者は
you a smoker?
No, definitely not. Filthy habit.
ボタンについて。
I found a jacket button on your table. It looks like it belongs to...
女 乗客の
A passenger on the train who may have entered your room.
Miss Olsen was my only visitor. Besides the intruder, of
Olsen
course. But
さんだ
that
け
doesn't look like a regular button, does it?
No, it has the Orient Express logo engraved on it. I have not finished inspecting your room. If you don't mind,
これか。で、全部かい？あともう一個なんかある。隠されていた。ここに
let's see
置いて
if
みる。
Mrs. Rubard was telling the truth about the latch of the connecting door. This hook is probably where Mrs. Rubard hung her toiletry bag. I can see the latch very well from here, even with the toiletry bag attached. I'll have to clear that up with Mrs. Rubard.
うん。
Mrs. Rubard, you told me that the door connecting the two compartments was closed, correct?
Yes, it was, as I told you. I was already in bed and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was. That's why I asked Miss Olsen to check if it was closed.
Are you sure everything you've told me is accurate, Madame Hubbard?
Of course. I have an excellent memory.
本当に？
Mrs. Hubbard, I tested putting your toiletry bag on the door hook as you told me. From your bed, you can easily see the latch on the door. The toiletry bag does not hide the latch at all.
Are you saying I'm lying? It may have been stuck somehow in a different position, or I may not have seen it in the darkness. Or I didn't think to look, you irritating man.
Details matter, madame. A man has been most savagely murdered. You will excuse me if I attempt to separate the truth from the false.
Forget my toiletry bag and focus on who entered my compartment. Probably after killing Mr. Ratchet.
Madame Hubbard is a force to be reckoned with, but I suspect I'm not done with her. Thank you for your assistance, madame.
まだあるんだね。ちょっと一回じゃあミシェル。
Monsieur Michel, I must ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
I will do everything I can to help.
First of all, tell me about yourself.
Very well. My name, as you know, is Pierre Michel. I'm from Calais. I've been with the company for over 15 years.
Thank you. This is wrong.
管理者。
I do not think that... This is wrong. But... Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. No, not good. My little gray cells did not let me down.
乗客名簿。
Can you provide me with a listing of the passengers and their rooms, please?
Yes, certainly.
これで全員がわかる。番号1111に2ってことはそこだけ2いるってこと？一人だけラストネームしかないな。コンスタンティン101で、ペドロビッチ、マクイーン、マスターマン、オスカレリ、レブナン、オールソン、シュミット、アーバスノットラガン、ハードマン、ハリス、ラチェット、ハーバー。スタッフがそれぞれ301と302にいると。ミシェル、フレイヤ・ニールセンとミシェル。タル。そういう感じになってるのか。
Are you a smoker?
Indeed.
Do you smoke e-cigarettes?
No. Tobacco only.
タバコっていうんだ。ラチェット。
I would like to reconstruct with your help the events of last night. Monsieur Ratchet retired to bed. When?
Almost immediately after dinner, sir. Actually, before we left Belgrade.
Did anybody go into his compartment after that?
His valet, monsieur. Monsieur Masterman. And then his secretary, the young American gentleman. Monsieur McQueen.
And that is the last time you saw or heard of him?
No, monsieur. You forget that Monsieur Ratchet rang his bell around 12:40 a.m., soon after we had stopped. I knocked at the door, but he called out in French, "Ce n'est rien, je me suis trompé." I then left to answer another bell that had just rung.
1時15分の存在。
Where were you at 1:15 a.m.?
I was sitting on my little seat at the end of the car, facing up the corridor.
Are you sure?
I left a little after 1 a.m. to speak about the snow with my colleague Jean in the bar car. I came back later. There was a call. I remember speaking to you.
Indeed, I remember. Carry on.
It was the American lady, Madame Hobart. She thought she saw a man in her compartment. Then, around 1:50 a.m., I made the bed for Monsieur Ratchet's secretary, Monsieur McQueen. He had spent the evening talking with the English Captain Arbuthnot. At 2 a.m., I returned to my place and stayed there until dawn.
なくなったボタン。
I found a button from an Orient Express staff jacket. Did you lose one by any chance?
No, monsieur. As you can see, I have all my buttons. It is not mine.
最後に停車した駅。
What is the last station where we stopped?
Vinkovsky.
Could someone have come on board?
Possibly. I was very busy. Owing to the weather, we were a few minutes late. We left at 12:10 a.m.
とタバコを吸う、ペットメイキング、ラチェット、話しかける、これか。深夜。
I'm right again. That happens to...
犯人はミシェル氏に目撃されなかっ 犯人がどうやって店しか目撃を免れたのか推理するために役立つ要素を2つ選択する。1時から千葉にいない。1時15分で止まっている。早っ。
While Monsieur Michel was chatting with Monsieur Fauchet in the bar car between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., the murderer could have escaped Ratchet's room without being seen. Et voilà.
ミシェル氏は容疑者だろうか。ハーバード氏の容疑者だろうか。違う。
According to the information I have, this is a solid choice.
容疑者。怪しいんだけどね。協力者かもしれないね。
This direction looks promising.
殺人があった夜、ミシェル氏との遭遇から興味深い要素2つ。ラチェットは殺人だったよ。フランス語で話をしていたようだ。ラチェットは英語でしか話せない。これ矛盾してるよね。ラチェットではない。中にいた人は違う。マックイーン氏は10時頃最後にラチェットを見た。
I do not think that's the right answer.
呼び出したじゃあな、こっちとこれだよな。生きてるように見せかけた。
The murderer may have impersonated Ratchet by calling Monsieur Michel to make it seem that Ratchet was still alive at 12:37 a.m. My little gray cells did.
それをやったのが誰かってことだね。最も可能性の高い仮説はどんなものだろうか。ラチェットは睡眠薬を飲む。犯人はラチェットの部屋に入る。犯人は銃でラチェットを殺し、違うな。睡眠薬を飲む。犯人はラチェットの部屋に入る。犯人がナイフでラチェットを刺す。犯人はラチェットが生きていると思わせたミシェル氏を呼ぶ。犯人は窓から逃走を試みる。列車は雪の中で立ち往生している。犯人は部屋を出るためミシェル氏が休憩するのを待つ。ナイフで刺すイメージを。これだな。
Et voilà.
マクイーンのスターマン。ちょっと待って。ジョアンナ・ロック。あれか。この人か。全部攻撃、更新されてる。 るよ。話してる。こんなとこにいる。話せないんだよな、この二人は。ここはもう行けない。ってなると、もうあの中で推理するしかないのか。
So, my friend, have you found our killer?
Not yet, but I will tell you what I have learned.
Please.
Our assassin could have gotten on the train at Vinkovsky disguised as a conductor, entered Ratchet's room and killed him. Then he walked out through Madame Hubbard's connecting door, where he lost a button from his jacket. He had to wait for Monsieur Michel to be absent. He waited too long. The train had left the station.
He was trapped aboard.
Indeed. He had opened the window to make it look that he'd escaped that way. However, if he waited until the train stopped again due to snow, his footprints would have been found.
The murderer is still among us, on the train.
There's a problem with the second-class toilets.
What now?
All morning passengers have been complaining that the door is locked, so I went to check. I knocked, but no one answered. I didn't think I should open it without speaking to you first.
You did well, Monsieur Michel. Lead the way.
ドアがずっと閉まってる。
I use my master key.
But who is she? Is she alive?
She is breathing.
Then if she isn't dead, isn't she our murderer?
That, my friend, is what we must find out. The ticket reads Joanna Locke, traveling in compartment 105. Miss, can you hear me?
生きてる？寝てるんかい？
She's breathing. Her pulse is strong. There is no sign of physical violence. This woman is sleeping very sound.
実に深い眠りについている。彼女は生き
This
てる。
woman is sound asleep. Given her location, I would say she has been drugged and deposited
睡眠
here.
薬。
Well, at least it's not another murder on my train.
同室
The
さ。
train is, of course, full.
Monsieur, the list I gave you indicates that Hildegard Schmidt shares her compartment.
I will want to
Hildegard.
talk to her later. For now, we will concentrate on this mysterious young lady. Let's return her to her more comfortable bed.
Good idea. Pierre, locate this woman's room and fetch the doctor.
Yes, sir.
I will question her when she wakes up.
Please, let me know what you learn.
彼女の部屋
Mademoiselle
は
Locke's compartment
Marco.
is 105. I suggest we return her to her more comfortable bed.
Yes, hopefully she will awaken soon.
あれだな、順番の関係で話がちょっとごっちゃあるんだな。 話してる内容とじゃちぐはぐになる。ああ、ここ
A
も
cup
癖
of
きた。
tea with white residue at the bottom. A cup of tea with...
帽子ポーチがあってんで何これなんかあんの。あ、これか。開けさせてもらいますよ。わかりません。まずこっちか。これだ。ボタンが取れている。
and a wagon conductor's jacket. And the button is
そ
missing.
の格好になったためやっぱこの人か。これはなんだ。番号がわからんからこれ多分開けれないよね。彼女の部屋。この中にまだあんの。
A brief?
ないんだよね。ないのよね。どこだ。めっちゃ当選棒されて何もできないんだけど。番号がわかりません。ジョンナロック。口ひげ足りない。乗客名簿。今こっちが
Well, I choose to go this way.
違う。
According to the information.
なんかわかるものあるっけ。地球。カチャって言わないからな。
If you need a break, I can ask Jean to make you some coffee.
静かにして。
What if
喋ん
the
な喋んな。
briefcase is booby-trapped? But of course you know what you're doing. It is booby-trapped, is it? Poirot, I'm disappointed in you. I was certain you would have it by now.
喋るな。
Have you tried 0000? So, Poirot, any luck so far? We really need to find the combination. No, that's mine. I never remember my
これ
passwords.
じゃあしてく
So
るんだけ
I
ど。
make them easy ones. Have you tried 1, 2, 3, 4? Poirot, I'm disappointed in you.
全然わか
I
んね
was certain you would have it by now. No, that's mine. I never remember my passwords, so I make them easy ones. We really need to find the combination. But of course you know what you're doing. It is booby-trapped, is it?
え。じゃあ、
So, Poirot, any luck so far? Have you tried 0000? Have you tried 1, 2, 3, 4? If you need a break, I can ask Jean to make you some coffee. Poirot, what if the briefcase is booby-trapped? If you need a break, I can ask Jean to make you some coffee. But of course you know what you're doing. It is booby-trapped, is it? Poirot, I'm disappointed.
ちょっとマジで話しすぎで何を言うんだこいつ。ボイス下げろ。音が聞く。
If you need a break, I can ask Jean to make you some coffee. Have you tried 1, 2, 3, 4? Poirot, what if the briefcase is booby-trapped? Have you tried 1, 2, 3, 4? Have you tried 0000? So,
ワン
Poirot,
ツ
any luck so far? No, that's mine.
ースリー。
I never remember my passwords, so I make them easy ones. Poirot, I'm disappointed in you. I was certain you would have it by now. If you need a break, I can ask Jean to make you some coffee. Poirot, what if the briefcase is booby-trapped? But of course you know what you're doing. It is booby-trapped, is it? We really need to find the combination. So, Poirot, any luck so far?
なんか一定間隔がでかくなるの
What
か。
if the briefcase is booby-trapped? No, that's mine. I never remember my passwords, so I make them easy ones. Have you tried 0000?
わからん。
Poirot, I'm
わからん
disappointed in
が
you.
どっかに
I
記
was
載があ
certain
り
you
そう
would
だ
have it
が。
by now. If you need a break,
どうしよ
I can ask Jean to make you some coffee.
Book, silent like a mouse, please.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'll be quiet
う。目
now.
か喋
You
っと
need
った。
to concentrate. I will not utter another word. Not one.
Book, there will be another murder on the Orient Express in a moment.
お口チャック。頼むよ。いけた。銃がある。
She has a gun.
Come, Poirot. Criminals are often known to carry one.
Ratchet was stabbed, not shot. But then why take it on the train?
護衛かもしかして。警察。ポリスじゃん。
This badge says that Joanna Locke is an American detective with the Berkshire Police Department in Massachusetts.
An American police officer? Oh,
なるほど。おう、調べてんね。ルーム203。
Mademoiselle Locke seems very interested in our victim.
of course. She has studied her target.
Possibly.
うん
The stuffed
あ
animal
猫
is the same as in the photo found at the crime scene.
What a coincidence.
Mademoiselle Locke appears to have been investigating Monsieur Ratchet.
じゃあこれがデイジーか。女の子。あ、まだあった、まだあった。よいしょ。ジョアンナ・ロック。リンコンメインストリート。
Her driver's license confirms her identity. She is American.
These are fake IDs. It's certain. Look, she's waking up.
お、
Thanks to you, I would not be surprised if our murder victim were also waking up.
What?
Oh, my head. What's all the yelling about?
Who are you? Give me a good reason why you should not be in handcuffs.
I can give you a reason, Book. Whose handcuffs will we use? I have none. Do you?
Well,
You are Joanna Locke, mademoiselle?
Yes, Joanna Locke. I'm a detective. Berkshire, Massachusetts Police.
I have found your credentials, mademoiselle.
And I know who you are, Mr. Poirot.
Then, if the introductions are complete, perhaps the explanations may begin.
I'll try. It's simple, really. I'm on the trail of a murderer.
ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。この動画を見て良かったと少しでも思われた方はいいねしてもらえると嬉しいです。よければチャンネル登録もお願いします。X のフォローも気が向いたらしてくれてもいいんだからね。それじゃあまた次のプレイでお会いしましょう。じゃあねー。